The Supreme Court of India grew from 2 centuries of colonial legal change. Its story begins under British rule with the Regulating Act of 1773. The Regulating Act led to a new Supreme Court at Fort William, Calcutta. Sir Elijah Impey became the first Chief Justice in March 1774. He sat with Puisne judges Chambers, Lemaistre, and Hyde. The court held civil and criminal jurisdiction over Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. Initially, jurisdiction covered British subjects more clearly than native Indians. The Act aimed to regulate the East India Company and oversee its affairs. Additional Supreme Courts followed, Madras in December 1800 and Bombay in December 1823. These 3 presidency courts were highest authorities in their regions for decades. Their role persisted until mid-1800s. Legal reform reshaped courts in India. The Indian High Courts Act of 1861 reorganized the judicial map. It abolished the presidency Supreme Courts and Sada Adalats, creating high courts. These new high courts became the highest courts within their provinces. They handled both civil and criminal appeals regionally. By the 20th century, federal reform created a new apex, the Federal Court. The Government of India Act established the Federal Court in 1935. The Federal Court opened on the 1st of October 1937 in Delhi. Sir Maurice Guire served as its first Chief Justice, with 2 other judges. The Federal Court had original, appellate, and advisory jurisdiction. It resolved appeals from high courts and disputes between centre and provinces. Independence and the new constitution transformed India's judiciary. Article 124 simply declares, "There shall be a Supreme Court of India." The Supreme Court came into being on the 26th of January 1950 with the Constitution. Harilal J. Kania became the first Chief Justice of independent India. The official inauguration was held on the 28th of January 1950 at 9:45 a.m. Judges from the Federal Court and High Courts attended the ceremony. Initially, the court functioned from the old Parliament House until 1958. In 1958, it moved to its present building on Tilak Marg, New Delhi. The new building was inaugurated by President Rajendra Prasad on the 4th of August 1958. The new premises symbolized a sovereign judicial authority for the Republic. From colonial courts to a constitutional apex, the judiciary had evolved. This evolution set the stage for the court's changing composition and powers. Next, how the court's size and role expanded under the Constitution. We continue with the court's constitutional growth and modern role. The Constitution envisaged 1 Chief Justice and 7 Puisne judges in 1950. Parliament raised the number to 11 in 1956. It increased again to 14 in 1960. The bench grew to 18 by 1978. The number rose to 26 in 1986 to handle greater caseloads. Parliament increased it to 31 in 2009. Most recently, the sanctioned strength reached 34 in 2019, including the Chief Justice. These expansions reflect workload, appellate demands, and constitutional needs. The Supreme Court replaced the Federal Court and the Privy Council as the apex. It inherited original, appellate, and advisory powers from the Constitution. The court became the final interpreter of the Constitution and guardian of rights. Its judgments shaped constitutional law and protected fundamental freedoms. Today, the court hears complex constitutional, civil, and criminal appeals. Its written judgments form binding precedent across India. For students, understanding this history clarifies current judicial structures. From the Regulating Act of 1773 to the modern Supreme Court, the arc is clear. The court stands today as the constitutional guardian of democratic India. Its evolution reflects India's journey from colonial rule to sovereign justice. Key acts: Regulating Act 1773, High Courts Act 1861, Government of India Act 1935, Constitution 1950. For more detail, consult the cited acts, federal court records, and constitutional text. Subscribe for law explainers.